Now I want to talk about Kouri Richins' phones. Did you analyze 3 phones that belonged to Kouri Richins for this case?
I did, yes.
Scott, if you could put up 3-37D, please. Do you recognize this?
I do.
What is it?
This is an exhibit that represents the 3 phones that you just mentioned that were being used by Ms. Richins that are relevant to this case.
Did you help create this exhibit?
I did.
I'm going to move to admit 337D.
No objection. Okay. States 3-37D is admitted.
And publish, please.
Done.
Okay. I have a pink pointer that I'm going to try to use.
All right.
What do you think, Scott? Okay. Let's start at the top.
All right.
What phone is at the top of this exhibit?
Okay, so the phone at the top of the exhibit on the left-hand side is Ms. Richins' white iPhone, and the 2 numbers that are there, next to the 1 and the 2, those represent the phone numbers that were being used on that device during the time of September 2020 to April of 2022.
What do those dates represent?
That's the duration of the time that phone was being utilized.
So you mentioned for Kouri Richins' white iPhone that there were 2 numbers on that phone. What number were you able to determine was maybe the primary or most used number for that phone?
Right, so the number ending in 1987 is going to be the primary number. That is the carrier subscriber number through Verizon that phone was utilizing. And then the 1152 number is a VoIP number that was being used on that device as well.
So you said VoIP number, but tell the jury, how do you get 2 phone numbers on 1 phone?
You just use an app.
Okay. How is, in this case, the number 1152, how is that different than what you called the subscriber number, the 1987? How is it different?
Right, so that number, a VoIP number, it uses the internet to make calls, make and receive calls, make and receive texts. You can use that number like you would your normal carrier number. The difference is it uses data, and so it typically doesn't show up on your call detail records when you use it.
Did you view a download from Kouri Richins' white iPhone?
I did.
And that came from the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
It did.
And that download was performed by Cheney Ingtao and another download by Marcos Gary Cuchilla?
I believe so, yes.
Did that download contain text messages, call logs, web searches, things like that?
Yes.
In addition to that, were you also able to view what we were calling activity data or device sensor data for that phone?
Yes.
When you did the analysis for that white iPhone, was there evidence of deletions?
Yes.
Was there evidence of text message deletions?
Yes.
Evidence of call log deletions?
Yes.
Describe what time frame you were able to recognize those deletions happening.
The time frame essentially for that device is mid-March. So specifically as it relates to some of the other items I looked at related to this case, we're looking basically January 1st through middle of March 2022.
What was missing from that phone for January 2022, February 2022, and March 2022?
Hundreds of text messages at least. They were also missing most of the web history artifacts in that device.
Call histories as well?
Call logs, etc.
So turning your attention to the middle phone here, what are the dates for the use of that phone?
April 14th, 2022 to May 8th, 2023.
Now I noticed that silver iPhone has the same number as the white iPhone. How did that occur?
So this is a new device that Ms. Richins began using on April 14th, and she basically just had her old number assigned to this new device.
Were you able to view a download for this phone?
Yes,
And that was performed by the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
yes.
Now, comparing Kouri's silver iPhone that she began using in April of 2022 compared to the prior phone, the one that she was using leading up to that point, were there patterns of deletions in this phone similar to the white iPhone?
There were some deletions noted, but not in the same manner as the previous phone, no.
What do you mean not in the same manner?
Meaning there were not big chunks of hundreds of texts missing from the device that I noted, compared to the new phone did not have that type of deletion in it.
So now let's talk about the third phone on this exhibit. It says Kouri Richins' blue iPhone. Did you also view an extraction for this phone?
I did.
Or I guess extraction and download. I'm using them
Download,
interchangeably. Is that
so
okay?
do I. That's fine.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
And that download came from the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Now, similar questions about the blue iPhone. It seems that the date ranges for that are the same as the silver iPhone. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, based on your analysis, Kouri Richins was using the blue iPhone and the silver iPhone at the same time.
Correct.
Same question for the blue iPhone. Were there mass deletions on the blue iPhone when comparing it to what you looked at for the white iPhone?
No.